Yo, what up gamers, I'm Product, and today I've got a very exciting matchup for you guys. It's going to be Rekkles versus Flakked from G2. So Rekkles, in case you didn't know, was kicked out of G2 in the previous year and replaced by Flakked. So to see them facing off against each other in the EU solo queue, going to be really interesting. So the matchup is going to be Senna with Janna into Jinx with Thresh. So it's going to be a bit of a draft diff, honestly, for the bot lane here, I think, for Rekkles. In favor of Rekkles, because Senna's right now probably the most broken ADC by far on bot lane. And Janna's probably also, yeah, the most broken support by far, except for Senna. Senna's actually also the most broken support as well. But since Senna's off the table, Janna was the next best thing. And they've also got that. So Jinx is really good, Thresh is really good, but I don't think it's going to be quite as good as Senna Janna in lane here. Don't know if you noticed that, but Rekkles just full muted all at, yeah, here we go. Uses emotes are now being muted, everything, just full muted everything right at the start of the game. Does not want his teammates distracting him with, you know, just the petty arguments that happen in solo queue all the time. Anything that they could communicate with you, like missing pings from mid or whatever, you should be noticing that anyway. So honestly, I fully recommend just muting all every single game. It only distracts you. So anyway, the early laning phase will be Jinx and Thresh having prow here. That's pretty normal. You don't want to get all in here as the Senna Janna lane. You're definitely much more of a scaling bot lane. Senna probably outskills Jinx. Janna definitely outskills Thresh. So you're just going to be waiting for the right opportunities rather than taking control of the lane right from the start. We're just going to be lost sitting here. Janna helping out Rekkles. Let's see, does he go for this mist? Will he try and snipe it with Q? I think we'll try and snipe with Q, right? Doesn't go for it at all? Okay, interesting. Fair enough. Personally, I fucking hate not getting mist to Senna. Really tilts me. If I see a mist, I just have to get it. It's killed me quite a few times. So you won't be surprised to figure out here. He's actually really not prioritizing those at all. Actually prioritizing more the farm. Which is really interesting, because I remember when Senna used to be meta in pro play as an actual ADC. People were like praising Rekkles' ability to get mist. Like he was always getting way more than any other ADC. They were saying that it's partially because he just followed the jungler around, gathering a bunch of mist just by like watching his jungler do all the camps and just gathering all the mist that it takes. So I figured that he would also be prioritizing mist as well, like even outside of those interactions. But no, mainly just giving up a lot of mist just to get all the last hits.
We don't stand a chance, I think. Actually, unplayable lane, I think.
As you can see, paying a lot of respect to the Thresher. If Thresh is just hiding in that brush and they don't have vision to see when he's casting the hook, then they just can't risk walking up here. Thresh hook, if you can't see it casted, you just can't react to it. It's just too fast of a skill shot. So just trying his best to stand in XP range, but that's about it. Even Janna just can't even walk up for a really good Q onto the Jinx there. Unfortunately, now Thresh just kind of trolled there by throwing that hook when they weren't even really that far up. So now that gives them a lot of opportunity to just walk up, actually place the ward. So now Thresh won't even be able to do that again in future. And able to start farming again. Now they see the wave is crashing into them. So no need to walk up. They can just stand back, wait for it to crash into them, and they won't miss any farm in the process. Okay, so prioritizing the mist over harassing Jinx there. Actually just waiting for the Hecarim to come in. Didn't have the E available there, by the way. He put 2 points in Q. I'm never actually sure what to do in that kind of situation, because I've had plenty of times where I put 2 points in Q. Oh, hang on, as we see the Galio coming in for the gank. W landing onto Echo. Not quite gonna be a kill though. Will Janna at least live? No, the W gets blocked by Galio. Okay, yeah. So there's a lot of times where as Senna, I think, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna put 2 points in Q here. 2 points in Q seems good. Then we get ganked and we die because I don't have E, you know? This happens so often.
Actually, I think I should.
I need to look into what people generally do there. Maybe I just need to play more carefully.
As long as I don't get hooked, I'm fine. This way they don't get like a free push out on this.
Yeah, so Janna's gonna be basing. She just couldn't stay on that HP for sure. Of course, Rekkles running the first strike, which is definitely what you want to do on lethality Senna right now. And you definitely, when you're playing Senna, you definitely want to be doing lethality at least like 90% of the time. There's an argument to be made that you could use maybe Divine Sunderer potentially against tankier comps, or like if you need the survivability or you just need a more supportive build. Maybe even Kraken Slayer for sure against the tankier comps. I don't know about that. I just know that generally in the average game, by far lethality is going to be the best for you. You want to rush that Eclipse, and with the Mana Moon second item. Holy shit, his shop is small. What the fuck? What is the point of that?
Timing to go mid here.
Anyway, also using the magical footwear biscuits and the approach velocity. Of course, your Q now has a slow Senna, which is what it has suddenly made her such a broken pick. So once you've slowed somebody with the Q, you want to chase them down for the next auto attack to get your mist. And you know, that's where approach velocity comes in handy, and in general just for people chasing people down for DPS. Interesting that he just roamed mid here. He sees that the bot lane wave is pushed in, so he doesn't actually need to be bot lane for a while. And you can see he's constantly panning his camera back to bot lane, just checking to see when the Jinx will start shoving. And we see that she's starting to shove and just breaking the freeze. And now he's just going to be returning to bot lane, making sure that he doesn't miss any farm when this wave crashes. And as you can see, wave crashing right about now. Won't miss any of that farm. Unless he's a noob. Okay, he's not a noob. The Jinx with the massive XP lead here, so she is already level 6, and Rekkles only just got halfway there. Does have this wave to farm up though, but yeah, he's about half a level down, maybe more. So yeah, he was reading the dive there. Gonna be backing off even before Echo shows himself. It was pretty obvious. It was just I think they were making it really obvious with their movements that they were going for a little bit more than harassed there. As the Gallo comes in for the counter gank. Waiting for the Thresh to waste his CC before he goes for the taunt. Nice. Rekkles just gonna be supporting here, dealing some damage. Doesn't have to do anything special here. It's just along for the ride. So here he is definitely prioritizing the mist very heavily for sure. I think he even gave up a last hit or two there. Maybe that's just because he had teammates around though who might want to take the farm instead. Okay, so currently actually about 20 CS down almost to the Jinx. That's pretty normal in Senna though. You gotta remember that actually the more CS you're missing, the more mist you're going to be dropping anyway, because Senna gets a higher soul drop rate on minions she doesn't lost hit compared to minions she does lost hit. So, oh shit, what the? Alright, that's surprising that worked. Donna cut slacking there. Yes, I mean, if you miss some farm, you know, it's perfectly normal. I mean, as you saw, they were getting zoned really heavily earlier on. Oh, wow. Okay, that first strike just barely picking up that kill. Nice snipe.
That was first strike, no? The thing that flew in the air?
Yeah, that was first strike, Rekkles. It was indeed. It's not actually, well, no, it took me a while to even notice, but actually first strike, it does have that very slight delay for the damage amp when you first hit a target. So sometimes you will like hit somebody with something and you're thinking it'll kill them. And they're just like left with a 5 HP and you're thinking, oh, then suddenly the first strike comes in and you're like, oh, they're dead. What? Eventually I just figured out it was first strike.
Flew in there and killed him.
A little bit of delay.
It must have been first strike. That's cool.
So now Jana bullying off the Jinx. Rekkles will now be at the 20 mist point, which now upgrades his range by 20 these days. Yeah, I think it's 20. It used to be 25. For every 20 mist.
Not moving for this.
Also gives him 15% crit, 10%. I don't. It gives you crit. I don't know. They've changed the numbers, man. I'm not keeping up with all that. What the hell? Maybe tapping in to see chat or something there? See, my stream is set up in a way where if I alt tab, you can still see the stream. Just saying. Not saying that makes my stream better than his or anything, but it doesn't make it worse. You can see, already got 81 stacks on the tier and got his Eclipse already. So he's actually really strong in lane right now. They still shouldn't be like straight up winning 2v2s. The Thresh is just gonna be too much stronger than the Janna in the early game. And as you can see, very easy to catch out the Senna here. But let's see, we got the Hecarim coming in. Actually lived for a surprising amount of time there, and the Jinx gonna have to back off there. How did he live for so long? Okay, he had his Q heal, he had his Summoner heal, Eclipse shield, and I guess they didn't have Ignite, so none of that was being reduced. So fair enough, actually lives there.
Nice.
Also, I guess he also didn't step under the threshold, which I would have done. I guess I was expecting threshold damage there. This is why he's challenger and I'm not. As he's actually, while he's getting zoned from bot lane anyway, right now he just can't really probably step up until he sees where Thresh is.
Like the way she was playing, she wanted to base.
Or he just figured he wasn't going to miss any farm anyway for that, so. Just stands next to Hecarim while he's doing his camp. Guess that missed. It's just a free mist. It's so nice to get that guaranteed miss whenever you can. Like if you can lost it a cannon, but you've got like your mid laner around, I just always hand it over to my mid laner. Cannons are guaranteed missed if you don't lost hit them. So if there's somebody else around, like even if it's just my jungler, I'll be like, please take my cannon, man. I don't give a fuck. Just take it so I can get my mist, man. Take it and carry, man. Ooh, Thresh popping the Predator here. Probably trying to get a pick here, but won't be able to do anything as Janna returns into lane. As you can see, he's actually walking up for the trade now. Actually has a much stronger early game than, right, much stronger lane than Jinx right now. At least in the short trades, at the very least. Definitely not gonna be able to match her in the DPS department. But definitely doesn't have to be afraid of her right now, unless Thresh is also in the mix. Depending on how the fights go, there is actually a world where the Senna just wins this matchup. Definitely they would need to focus the Senna. I think if they engage onto Janna, the Senna might be able to keep the Janna alive, and the Janna will keep herself alive long enough that Senna can definitely turn on to the Jinx. Okay, let's see if this happens. Okay, just focusing the Thresh, uses the ultimate. Unfortunately, Echo's there as well. But gonna be getting another counter gank here. Not flashing onto the Jinx.
Again, I love it.
It's being very patient, very safe. Doesn't want to waste that cooldown. Lets his teammates take her down. As he just focuses the Echo right from the start. Ooh, as Hecarim goes very deep. Able to pick up that. Go for the rampage. Giving another assist to Rekkles.
Not that good. But on Senna, it's fucking good. Like when I play Jhin, for example, I think red on me is useless. Like actually useless. I have no reason to take red the entire game. With Senna, it's really hype when you get red.
Okay, so apparently he thinks red buff is really useless on Jhin. Makes sense, he doesn't auto attack a lot compared to other ADCs, has pretty short range. But he likes it on Senna. That makes a lot of sense as well, because I mean, definitely, you know, the whole point of red buff being good on ADCs is that they are ranged. They can apply the red buff from a longer range than, you know, melee champs can. That's what makes it so good on them. So naturally, the higher your range actually is, the better it is on your champion. And I guess because Jhin just auto attacks so little, yeah, it makes sense that you know, his range is not the shortest for an ADC, but I guess if the less you auto attack, the less you're applying red buff as well. So. Just a cool little note for you guys. Rekkles doesn't like red buff on Jhin.
That's a bounty on it.
Unfortunately, Jinx is going to be picking up the bounty there, trying to take down the Janna.
Red buff, look at this now!
Rekkles, not even going to use heal on the Janna, just gonna...
He had the...
Just gonna decide if she dies, she dies. Just queuing the Jinx to try and pick up the kill. Janna survives anyway.
Red buff Senna. Actually...
And always being willing to use his abilities to pick up as much from him as possible. Something I noticed that the high elo ADCs, or not even just ADCs, but players in general, whether it's mid laners or top laners or whatever, they always use abilities to get lost hits way more than low elo players do. Low elo players aren't really willing to invest mana into CS anywhere near as much, unless it's like a dedicated wave clear ability like Syndriki or something. Okay, so now has the mana moon. So gonna grab a long sword. Also gonna grab the blue trinket. Can you stop that, Rekkles? I'm trying to make a video here. Ooh, that's a low HP Victor. Patience. He wants to wait for the Victor to start recalling, to stand still before he goes for the snipe. Unfortunately, he couldn't see if Victor was actually standing still or not, or started recalling or not. Unfortunately, Victor had already moved out of the way. Oh well. It was worth a shot, I guess. Unfortunately, that's going to be a really big cooldown invested, as you can see, over 2-minute cooldown. Won't have that for a while.
Yep, being attacked. Guess I go take red. Oh, wait. Thought there was one chicken, there was a lot of chickens.
So now going for the red buff. As we now know, he really likes it on Senna. Oh, that is... Okay, that was a close one. Let me see. Will he actually take any farm here? Oh, okay, well, Bugali was leaving, so I guess he may as well. As the fight starts, we'll be providing some free damage there. Don't really have to take any risks.
Maybe break mid here as well.
So if you want to play this lethality Senna, you can also do fleet footwork. It is also a viable option on her. Generally doesn't seem to perform as well right now as First Strike does though. Ooh, I'm nearly dying there. You can see going very aggressive on the Jinx there. Taking a lot of damage, but doesn't go down. That is a very aggressive move compared to what I usually see Rekkles do. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite pick up the kill, but manages to avoid the Thresh Flay, which would have killed him. Now he's just back to full HP. And one thing that this lethality build definitely does better than crit builds is you get so much more healing. Ever since they added that lethality scaling to the Q, well, not only do you get more AD, so more healing from the AD ratio, but you also get that lethality ratio added to the mix, and it's just such an absurd heal compared to other builds. Yeah, if I was doing crit on Senna, I would probably do fleet footwork. You can also do fleet on the lethality build. Generally, I wouldn't advise it, but it is a superior defensive setup. Maybe in certain matchups, you might think that you'll need fleet footwork in order to survive, and you know, in that case, go ahead.
I'm gonna base the next
You might be right.
Right now.
Might end up paying off better than the first strike. But generally, the first strike is just going to give you so much damage. It's already given him, you know, 415 damage by 19 minutes. It's pretty good on Senna. Or I mean, it's pretty good in general, especially for a champion like Senna, who doesn't actually deal that much damage. To have 415 at this stage of the game is already pretty good.
Very deep. Very deep.
And on top of that, also, obviously, probably giving him like 380 gold or something. Okay, trying to go for the snipe on the Thresher. Wants to wait and see where Thresh stops moving. Again, miscalculates where Thresh would have been.
Well, we're pushing bot and I got
as he goes out of vision. Very unfortunate.
I'm going the same as last game. I don't know if Youmuu is a good item, but I really like the active.
So he's going for the Youmuu's next, saying he doesn't know actually if it's that good an item, but he really likes the active. I do think it is very good on Senna, actually. The movement speed is definitely really good to keep her safe, to go for those aggressive plays. It also gives CDR, which is amazing on Senna. I think it's very invaluable for sure. I think for third item on Senna, generally your options are going to be either Youmuu's or Edge of Night. Potentially Edge of Night can definitely be maybe even more valuable against certain champions. I can't really immediately like think of anything off the top of my head, but you know the kind of situations where you're just thinking, holy shit, this ability is fucking me over. I'm just going to build an Edge of Night to counter that, you know? It's not every game. Like, you wouldn't build it against the Jax, but... You know, maybe like a Lissandra to avoid the ultimate. That will be a kill for Galio. So he's actually maintaining very good CS per minute here. Usually my farm on Senna just drops off really hard after lane phase. But that is partially just because I give up so much farm. I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, take all my farm, guys. I'll just take the mist. That's cool. I mean, I figure if fasting Senna is a thing in laning phase, you know, why you may not have a lane partner that you are fasting with in the mid to late game, but ooh, as he's getting cut out here, we're gonna be a very nice dodge on the hook. Not really the best aimed hook, to be fair, but able to juke that out. Oh wow, what? That echo damage. Just not able to even stand still to use his ultimate. So much unexpected damage from the echo there. That was crazy.
Anyway. And I think we can maybe nash off this. They have gun ult.
But fortunately, it does turn out to be a way better fight for the Senna than for the Echo. As he gets caught out there, as does the rest of his team. Spam pings the John ult there. Seems to be a little unsatisfied with John's performance in that fight. Give me buff. Oh, right. He was waiting to see if it's necessary, but no. He will revive before they finish the Baron anyway.
Where did I disappear? I went somewhere else.
Now going for the red buff again.
Maybe Edge of Night 3rd is the play. Because I think once I get Edge of Night, I'm really safe. It was the same last game.
Yeah, so he's considering Edge of Night 4th item, which, Muramana, yeah, you know, as I said, it's really good as 3rd item, so as 4th item obviously makes a lot of sense as well. If you went to, decided to go for the Youmuus instead, you can always go Edge of Night after.
Okay, right in there.
The Flakked getting wiped out by the Senna ult there.
Trying to join, but Youmuu's active, coming in hot.
Popping off the Youmuus to try and make a flank play. Gets taken down very low by the Echo, but just immediately regains so much of that HP already. Because now they will be able to finish off the Echo.
Almost one tap him.
And it was, I feel like it was only very recently that I pointed out that the Senna damage from first strike was about 400. It's now 716. This rune scales really, really well. Obviously, because it provides a percentage increase to your damage, the more damage you're dealing, the more damage first strike is dealing. It's probably an even better scaling rune than Dark Harvest, except obviously there does come a point where all the gold you've generated from first strike becomes useless if you like hit the full build, and suddenly you can't like actually really generate more gold, you know? You can't spend it. So healing up his team there.
Okay. I would run a bit.
No real reason for it, they're backing anyway. But no reason not to. So will he go for the longsword or for the ruby crystal? You gonna be a pussy or a man, Rekkles? Pinkward is also the pussy move, by the way. Oh, wait, is he just waiting for the full item? No. Okay, he's gonna be a man. Let's go. Also gonna grab the elixir. Yeah, I mean, if the game is gonna end probably within like the next minute,
but if they work,
there's no point saving your gold, right? Just get that elixir, and if you're on the losing team, you try and save the game in a last-ditch effort, and if you are on the winning team, you try and make sure that you have the least chances of throwing as possible, which means grabbing that elixir either way.
I mean, it would make my
so I'm gonna be grouping top lane with the team. I'm gonna play nice and slow. Gonna take the last turret before heading into the enemy base. Filling that blue buff. So will he grab the cannon? Yeah. Nice poke of the Jinx there. So shrouding up his team to probably just try and pressure the enemy team a little bit, but then I doubt they'd walk up anyway. Not really a whole lot they can do. However, Baron buff is now down at least. Ooh, his Harker engages onto the Jinx. Doesn't even have to do anything to take her down. Rekkles can just watch Hecarim do that. He's going aggressive on the Victor instead. Fortunately, gonna be about an even trade with Victor, but Rekkles will have the tools to heal himself and his team back up. Holding on to the key right now. Wants to use it aggressively maybe? No, does use it to heal his team. As he gets dived by the Echo once again, taken down. But that's going to be only his second death at 26 minutes as his team now closes out the game. Mainly his minions. And that's it. Rekkles against Flakked.
Nice.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future, guys. It also helps me out a lot. To, you know, just engage with my videos. So a like, leave a comment. And if you want to see my content, you know, make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell thingy so you see my content on your feed more often, if that's what you want. That's up to you guys. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully. Later, gamers.